Today I'm going to hunt down all the Minecraft bosses here in the end.
But if the dragon is alive, we can't use this portal to get out of here.
Okay, that's gonna be a problem.
How did you figure out the dragon and the portal are connected down there?
Everyone knows that when we spawn the Ender Dragon, the portal is sealed, so I had no other option but to use my smarts. How can I keep the end portal active with the dragon alive? The important thing is that I found a bug that will make it possible, and the first boss we're gonna catch is the Wither boss. To get it, I'm gonna need 3 Wither skeleton skulls. And check this out, I just killed 2 here, and none of them dropped hits. But on this server, we've got something that can help me. Look at the size of this farm. It's insane. For those who don't know, this here is a skeleton skulls farm. I'm gonna tackle the bosses from easiest to hardest, and for us, it's gonna be easy. Look at all the mobs here. While I'm here killing Wither skeletons to get the first boss, I need to address another issue. To learn the item, I'm gonna need some materials, like obsidian, a stone cutter, and a water bucket. Oh my god, a pack of Wither skeleton skulls. Our problem solved. So I don't recommend doing it near buildings that can be broken. First, you're gonna place obsidian on the ground in a little square. In the middle, you'll put the stone cutter. Then go up 5 blocks and put a head upside down. It should be about 3 blocks away. Then you'll put some glass like this. It's also a good idea to break this bridge so these endermen don't teleport here, because if they catch the Wither's attention, it'll cause a lot of problems. Then you'll pull 9 blocks to the side and start making a square of soul sand. You'll create a small platform to trap an iron golem. And now we're gonna turn that soul sand into a giant pool. Now the idea is to summon the Wither here and hope everything goes right. After you spawn the Wither, you need to quickly put a water bucket on its head. In my case, I don't do it, and our first attempt failed. Just don't mess it up because it'll work. I even made an obsidian cage to make it really look like he's trapped without affecting the whole system here. The golem's there, looking good, and now we have to be super quick to spawn this creature and run away. So we put the blocks here. The most awaited moment of all, subscribe to the channel to help the Wither stay trapped. Perfect. We can even remove the water bucket. There you go. I'm gonna rename the Wither with the name of a random commenter on the channel. With this, our first boss is trapped. Now, I want to trap the warden in the direction of this portal here. So I started building the bridge. The problem is that I had to descend a few blocks. So I kinda had to dive into the void using the elytra to place a block under the bridge. I'll try to make the cage somewhat similar to what we have for the Wither. And bro, look at this zoom. Now I need some iron bars. Luckily, there's this mega farm here, so it's easy to get them. Now that I have 1,000,000 iron bars, it'll be easy to do this. I started making the cage to keep the creature trapped. I've even separated the items inside this red shulker box so we can create a system that keeps the warden from disappearing. Basically, we'll put an observer looking at each other like this, piston here pointed upwards. So now I have to fly around here and find some deep dark to bring the warden. To be honest, I know a place that's full of wardens, which is this chest room here. Apparently, Vigil hasn't taken any of them out yet. I'm gonna find a way to attract a warden out here. I think to make it easier, what I'm gonna do is dig down here. Of course, we can't forget the water bucket here. And from what I saw in the coordinates, if we go straight in this direction, we'll reach the stronghold. Since the tunnel has been dug, we gotta throw a warden in here. To do that, I'm gonna make a tunnel here, 3 blocks high, and put a trapdoor on this block so he can't fall. I think the plan is perfect. The plan was good, but Warden is a super annoying creature, so he kept killing me several times. I mean, I only didn't die because of the totem, but after a while, I got it. Since Warden was in the hall we dug, it was easy. He followed me. I walked forward until I reached the stronghold. It wasn't easy, actually, because I spent a long time trying to get Warden inside the gate. I even used up all my totems of undying, and I had to go to the raid farm to get more totem. But then, just when I was about to give up, this happened. Oh, I swear, I was so afraid of the warden falling off that bridge because I forgot to make it a bit wider. But luckily, this creature is incredibly smart, and we managed to trap him. Now, I'm going to pick another subscriber's name to put on Warden. The next mission is to rename this warden without him noticing. I'm going to sneak up quietly here in the shift. This is kind of tough. One more boss is trapped, and now we're off to the next one. But before we trap our next boss there, I'll have to break this whole bridge so they won't bother Warden. Otherwise, they'll keep teleporting a bunch of endermen here, and it'll be a mess. I started building the bridge to bring the Elder Guardian. Look, there's obsidian in these chests, which will be really useful for making the next cages. I returned to the overworld because the goal now was to get the Elder Guardian. But when I look at the end portal, I notice there's a Warden there. Did Warden duplicate when he fell into the portal? Please die there. The idea was to stand there until Warden disappeared so he could bring the next boss. But then, a participant tried to go to the end and came face to face with the Warden, and he almost died. We have an unexplored ocean temple, so I can bring this creature here. I had to build the Elder Guardian cage in the end following the same pattern. Iron bars and obsidian. Then I had to fill it with water, since the Guardian lives in the water. To transport the Elder Guardian, we'll need some items like regular rails, powered rails, detector rails, levers, and mine carts. The Ocean Temple is in that direction, so I'll have to start making a massive rail system to connect everything. Thought I was gonna speed things up? Well, it's so easy when things are sped up. After finishing the rail path, I started making a protection, so the Guardian falls right into the portal. I also used the detector rail and activator rail to make a system for it to automatically exit the minecart. I flew to the Ocean Temple and used TNT to get inside. And here comes the tricky part. Putting this creature in the minecart, pushing it onto the rails. It took a long time. Guys, it's working! Finally, after a wild cart ride, I was really excited that things were going well, but then everything went wrong. Push it! Good. It gained speed. No! It still dropped the thing, bro. To make it even more secure, I made a tube that drops down to the portal, and I also made a capsule for it to be trapped after it leaves the minecart. Now, there's no way it can go wrong. To make sure it won't take any fall damage, I'm going to put water here. Then I remembered the small detail that I hadn't made the rail in the end. So, I'm back at the temple, and the struggle continues. Let's put another Guardian in the minecart. Ah! Oh my goodness, it works! The creature stayed inside. I'm a Minecraft genius. I've placed it in the minecart, now I just have to push it onto the rails. After a lot of effort, I was happy because I finally made it to the end with this creature. But then the joy was short-lived. I think I might cry. I won't cry just yet because we still have the last Elder Guardian from this temple. If it dies, it's over. I'll have to find another temple far away. My goodness, please let it work. Okay, it passed again. Let's not celebrate yet. I'll only celebrate when it's inside the cage. I closed the top of the cage to ensure it won't escape midway. Another name tag with another subscriber's name, and with great care, I renamed this creature. Done. Another boss is captured. And now we're off to the Ender Dragon, the biggest challenge of this video. This is the regular end of any survival map, and this is the end of the server. What a mess is this? This end is all messed up. I want to clear it completely to exploit the dragon glitch. It'll be much harder with all these blocks lying around, so it's better to break everything now. To make all these changes in the end, I'll need a beacon first. Now I'll head to the iron farm to gather a bunch of iron and craft the blocks. My goodness, what a racket those golems are making. And of course, I can't forget to grab some sponges, so I'll explore this temple real quick. I used TNT to clear a path, and since we were slowness in effect, I had to use TNT to break trees too. Then I crafted a bucket, drank milk to get rid of the effect, got some wood, crafted doors, and that's when we could finally explore and defeat the bosses in this temple to get the sponges. So after getting all the materials, I set up the beacon and started breaking all these loose blocks here in the middle of nowhere. Oh guys, I had an idea. I want you to comment on what I can build here in the end, since there won't be any construction here. The subscriber with the best idea will appear in my next video. After breaking all the blocks, I started drying up all this water. Who came up with this idea? My goodness. Thankfully, there's no more water in the end. Now, everything's normal here, and the mission is to break all this stuff. This was the worst part of all because breaking glass in Minecraft is quite challenging. It takes a long time, and even with haste, we can't break it faster. Before reviving the dragon, I decided to build a cage first, because doing it with the dragon alive would be much harder. You know, materials weren't a problem, because here we have an iron farm, and someone kindly broke several obsidian towers. The first step to doing the dragon glitch is to place a bunch of blocks at height 200, exactly at these coordinates, and the pattern will look something like this. I got it wrong. Actually, I was supposed to use a block that the dragon can't break. Now that I've placed the concrete, it'll stay like this. Ready? We can respawn the dragon. You have to place all the blocks at these exact coordinates. If you mess up one, the glitch won't work. The goal now is to break all the crystals, leaving only one, and we'll avoid damaging the dragon. Alright. And once I break the last crystal, the dragon will simply freeze to make our job easier. I'll wait for it to fly near one of the End City portals so we can break it. This glitch is really cool, and the best part is that it works on a server. So if you want to do it with your friends, there's no problem. If it doesn't freeze instantly, just wait a little. Eventually it will. Now the goal is to throw this dragon into the End City portal. To move it, believe it or not, we're going to use pistons and blocks. Just that. If you have plenty of slime on your map, you can also make a flying machine. Be careful not to get too close to the dragon. It can still damage you. We froze it, but it's still angry. This dragon glitch may seem super difficult, but it's actually quite simple. It just takes a long time to do and to understand the tutorial. I spent a long time trying to do this on the test map. You saw that the glitched dragon disappeared. Now we'll hang around here until another dragon spawns in the game. It'll take about 2 or 3 minutes to realize that the Ender Dragon is no longer on this island, and when it figures that out, it'll spawn another dragon. Look, it just spawned! Our difficult mission will be to defeat this creature. My goodness. This Ender Dragon here also froze. That wasn't supposed to happen. Anyway, the important thing is that we need to defeat it. I'll stand down here. And it bugged, so it's even easier this way. And we beat Minecraft! Let's enter the portal where we toss the dragon. I'm not sure if it's this or this one. I'll try this one. It's this one indeed. Look, our dragon is here. Now it's going to try to return to its island. So you'll have to follow it flying with your elytra. Don't get too close or it'll damage you. Luckily, the island is pretty close. The dragon is already heading back, and notice how it always comes down here. That's normal. If your end is normal, if it's not broken like this, it'll take a few minutes for it to be able to ascend. Oops, it's working. The dragon is going to be bugged there indefinitely. Nice one, guys. Now that the dragon is 100% inside our cage, I need to block this water here so it doesn't flow down below.
How did you learn about the dragon, and why is the portal still open down there?
Oh, that's a long story.